So several YouTube commentators have brought up the question, was Harry high at the coronation? I mean, this is definitely not out of the question at all, since Harry's visa could be revoked for his drug use admissions. But more to the point, I really want to explore what is Harry feeling during the coronation? Is it jealousy? Is he feeling alone? Is he blaming everyone but himself? Anger, rage, or is he starting to realize how badly he's screwed up, that he's tossed his life away on the self serving advice of a D list actress that he married, and that the royals are clearly winning, and the life of the royal family and the royal family itself just goes on without him? So, in this first picture, Harry is sandwiched between Beatrice and Eugenie for the walk and with their husbands, and he just looks alone. Many people in the church simply refuse to make eye contact with him. Here he looks grim, a bit sad. This is just something he has to get through. This is not a joyous occasion. This is not a once in a lifetime event that he's in the center of the action. Here he's shaking the priest's hand. Notice he's not making eye contact. When you shake someone's hand, you look them right in the eye. You make a connection. He's avoiding that connection and looking at the hand instead, lost in space. He's just looking up into the crowds at nothing in particular. He's touching his nose, hiding something. This stinks. What is that smell? This stinks. I hate this. Here we have the famous picture of Harry glaring at William. Envy. We have the same look from Meghan before. Did Meghan appear in disguise at the coronation? Many were pointing out this man, a British composer, as someone that Meghan was pretending to be. This is allegedly debunked, although I'm skeptical of pretty much anything the mainstream media tells me at this point. Also, we have the Reaper. I mean, I read on the Reaper, and I believe this was actually an evil spirit, an apparition. The coronation is a hugely significant spiritual event. Of course, there were countless spirits present and active at this coronation, both exalted of God and fallen. But Megan could have showed up in another disguise. I mean, she just can't resist. All eyes need to be on her at all times. Where else would she be? In Montecito, celebrating Archie's fourth birthday? I'm not buying it. And these pictures that she allegedly posts on his birthday are so confusing. What photo did she actually post on his birthday? It's all smoke and mirrors with them. Let's take a look and see what we find. Good day, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. Time for a spot of royalty. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, the Magi Method. Find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Don't forget to smash that like button. Subscribe if you've been unsubscribed. Subscribed if you haven't subscribed. Let's get right into it. So I want to look at Harry's state of mind at the coronation. Was he high? And, kind of where was he? So the first one is, was he high at the coronation? Let's just look at that, because that's a distinct possibility. I mean, other people, maybe that's not so likely, but Harry, that's actually quite likely. I mean, he's using Father's little helper to get through a very stressful situation, and he literally said that he finds that drugs help him, and they don't. I don't take anything, not even prescription drugs. So I think drugs just, they zone you out. It's like escaping. It's an escape so that you don't think about your problems, or you're just not thinking about them. And the more you take drugs, the further you get from actually resolving any of your problems. And some drug addicts end up on the streets because the problems that they're not solving in their lives. And that's life. Life is just one problem after another, after another, after another. Very complicated and very challenging. And I think we're here to deal with that stuff and to overcome. So, was Harry high at the coronation? Let's just look. Magi. Scapegoat. Scapegoat is a sickness card. Player. Big change. Oh my. So do we have Harry being high at the coronation? That's a very bad choice. But it could be that he is a frequent drug user, and it could be, I mean, he even could be a very frequent drug user, and then that would be more of his natural, to be on drugs would be more of his natural state than to not be on drugs if he's a very frequent drug user. And he would just, and people who are like addicts, they're always high and they're never not high. So not being high, they're sick. I wasn't planning to ask that question, but I think I will ask that question after this. Let's see, Magi, manifesting, changing things, player, and sickness in that space, in that instance, 24 and 8, 32. Yep, 8 spades. 8 spades is emphasized in these 3 cards. So he was high. At that place, at that time, he was high. He manifested, he altered his state. And it's not a good alteration. It's by drugs. And 2 spades, he separated himself from the situation. So single act, butterfly, high. The butterfly is high, very light, very airy, very high, happy. The man, okay. Star Bethlehem, he gets high all the time. Star Bethlehem, the way is open. It's a scatter shot. There's a million stars in the sky. Okay, and he's doing, this card specifically mirrors the Magi. So yeah, he's doing this all the time. Cross, a constant, permanent thing going on. And also family. Roses, another getting high card. And a big change. He made a change in his state. He changed his state with drugs. So yes, he definitely was high. And I need to ask how frequently he is high, because there's different kinds of people who use drugs. There's a recreational user. Okay, like Joe Rogan talks about how he likes to do mushrooms and stuff, and I'm against all of that. I don't like drugs at all. And the reason I don't is because I had cancer and they just loaded me up with drugs, and if I kept taking those drugs they were pushing on me, I would be dead. Okay, there's no question. And it wouldn't be the cancer that killed me, it would be all those drugs. So at some point I'm just like, I threw out all the drugs and I canceled all my appointments, and I'm like, I'm well. I just decided that. And that was 25 years ago, and I am still well. So I'm very much against drug use. I'm very much against it, including most prescription drugs, because I don't really see those as very different. Although I'm not a Scientologist or anything, and they believe in having no drugs. But look at Tom Cruise. Dude, I mean, I don't like Scientology. I think it's foolishness, but he's very healthy. He's incredibly healthy. So drug users come in different types. One is the recreational drug user who occasionally uses drugs, but the drugs don't control them. It's a vacation. It's a mind vacation. Okay, and then there's people who use drugs very frequently, and then at the far end of that is drug addicts who are high all the time. 25 hours a day, 8 days a week, they're high. And if they're not high, they're sick. That's a drug addict. So how frequently does Harry use drugs? I mean, where on the scale is Harry? Because he was superlative in his praise of drug use, which is really weird, but he doesn't work. I mean, the man just doesn't work. I mean, they gave out the Archwell stuff, and Meghan and Harry together work like 1 hour a week or 1 hour a month on Archwell. Well, what are you doing with all that time? Maybe Harry is high. I mean, I don't know. How frequently does Harry use drugs? Actions, key actions, Mercury.
how frequently 9 diamonds, quick, very fast, a quick, a jolt of, like drinking a Red Bull, real fast. This is key, and he does these actions whenever 1821. He has a long and very personal relationship with drugs, and whenever he feels he needs them, he just takes them. Ace of Club is pills. This is very much part of his life. He's taking pills, and he loves. It's really close to his heart, getting high. This very sick habit, 9, 10, 18, on an ongoing basis. So he is a frequent drug user. This does not show drug addict. He's somebody, I think he's probably on prescriptions. He's wealthy enough that he can find doctors to prescribe whatever he wants, So these are legally prescribed pills. And this is kind of my point. I believe that these prescription drugs can be just as bad or worse than the illegal drugs, okay? And the opiate crisis, which is what's happening right now and how they're currently destroying America, those were all legal pills. Opiates are back pills. And I've had terrible back problems. And the last time I had back problems, I couldn't get any back pills because all the drug addicts were getting back pills. And they just assume immediately that you're a drug addict. And I'm like, no, I have an actual back problem, and I don't know what other solutions there are. I can't walk right now, so I need something. What are your solutions? And they didn't have any. He just kept calling me a drug addict, and I'm pretty sure that doctor was actually a drug addict, and that's why he behaved like that. So Harry is a very frequent drug user. He's a frequent drug user, and I think these are pills. These are prescribed. Very sad. So someone who is like that, is frequently using drugs, is just escaping from their problems, and they're literally not going to be able to solve their problems. And someone like a Meghan Markle, someone very calculated like that, it's much easier for someone like that to manipulate somebody who is high all the time, because someone who's high is avoiding their problems. So when Harry looked at William, it looked like a glare. Was this envy? Was it sorrow? Was it loss? What was he feeling when he was looking over at William? And some were saying that he was looking at Charlotte. I didn't see that picture. He's clearly looking at William. That's where his eyes are. So what was he feeling? Harry, here's a card that I left on the table. City. Harry, okay, let's shuffle that in. Harry and William. What was he feeling? Harry, William. Harry, very emotional. Oh my God, there's the devil in the middle. So, and that's the card that was just sitting there, the Eight of Clubs. William. Interesting. What is Harry feeling? Devil. The devil is angry, vengeful, will lie, steal, cheat. He is pissed. He is really, really, really angry. 21, 29, and 8 hearts. He is really trying to transform this situation in the eyes of the world. He wants to come out the good guy. So he is raging because he feels he's absolutely raging. And he's very upset. He's absolutely raging. He's maybe a little dangerous. I mean, I hope they frisked him really well and put him through the X-ray scanner to see what he's hiding under his clothes there. William, you're out, bro. He is looking at the long term, the future. He's looking at the long road ahead. 1927 cross and the permanent family. So Harry's out. Okay. William just had his eyes closed. He looked like he was having a Zen moment. just collecting himself and trying to be calm in the midst of all this turmoil. He's looking to the future. He's not thinking about Harry at all. Harry is just raging. And he's very upset. Harry is very upset that he's losing. He's losing in the eyes of all the people. That's what he feels like. So Harry is just, maybe it is envy, but he's just absolutely enraged. I mean, he can barely contain his emotions, and absolutely the wrong thing to do is turn to drugs. So the gossip that Meghan appeared at the coronation, this is valid gossip. Okay, I don't believe she was the Reaper. I believe that was a literal spirit, because I think there were millions of spirits at that coronation. It's a very important event. And I can see spirits. And when someone is going to be possessed or murdered, something horrible is going to go down, they just turn the sky black. I mean, the night becomes day right in front of my eyes, and I've seen it. So at something like a murder, that's just one person, and I don't want to say, I do want to use the words less significant, but this is a world-changing event, the coronation of Charles the King. So there were maybe billions of spirits present at that coronation. That is a very important event. And not to be missed. And they would have crossed over from the other side, and they're all watching, and they're invisible. Okay, but I think both angels and demons would be and if there's going to be a large contingent of Satan's host there, then there needs to be a large contingent of God's host of angels there, just in case they decide to create a ruckus. And, that's their nature. So did Meghan, allegedly, did she appear somewhere? And I don't believe she's that mustachioed man or the Reaper. Did she appear somewhere at the coronation in disguise? Because this is a distinct possibility. Was Meghan physically present at the coronation? Because, yeah, she's celebrating Archie's birthday. Come on. Well, we have a no. Blocked from attending. Fun cards. Okay, so she really wanted to go, but she was blocked. She couldn't get in. And she tries to appear as an angel, but they know she's a devil. So she wanted to attend. There was no place on earth that she wanted to be more than that coronation at that moment. But she couldn't get in. She couldn't get in because security was really tight. That, as I've said in my last video, the coronation is probably one of the most secure places on planet Earth at that time. What do we have on top? Strength, butterfly, and cross. This is a defining moment for the royal family. It's huge. 18, going forward. Yeah, so everything changes with the coronation of Charles. And she really wanted to go, but she couldn't get in. So, no, she wasn't physically there. So I'm glad I could put that to rest for you. I don't know if you were like me thinking, well, maybe she did sneak in. She didn't. She was not able to. She absolutely wanted to. So was Harry high at the coronation? Yes. And then I asked, how frequently is his drug use? He is getting prescriptions, just like Elvis, just like Michael Jackson, just like Prince. Doctors will prescribe all kinds of terrible things that will kill you. All of these great celebrities, they died from legal drug use. So Harry's just popping pills all the time. He's a pill popper. That's terrible. What was Harry feeling? Because it's terrible for Harry. He's not dealing with his problems by doing that, and he's very easily manipulated by wicked people who want to use him for their own ends. So what was Harry feeling when he was glaring at William? He's really upset. I don't even think he should be there at that point. That's how upset he is. And you saw a lot of that on his face, and I'm sure he was trying to hide that. So And finally, we have Meghan did not appear at the coronation. Thank God, because after reading these cards, I don't think Harry should have appeared at the coronation, should have been allowed into that space to be that close. Anyway, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe and comment if you will. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, the Magi Method. I'll see you next